Well, I suppose the brief was to make it accessible to younger people, or to make it seem more, I suppose I wanted something that was going to be more striking.
My research is using satellite images to map the surface of the Earth, and in particular Ireland, and looking at how the landscape of Ireland is changing using satellite images to monitor that. And so the project, the poster, was to try and capture that idea, the very sort of technical idea of satellites acquiring this data about the land surface, but then turning that into some kind of map format that could then be used for other applications.
Two main challenges, first being having to communicate on a subject topic that you know very little about, which is quite difficult to try and get your head around, to try and understand. I think the second challenge was, it was geomapping, so I had to actually use the images that I was given.
I mean, I'm very used to doing academic posters to go to conferences, and I've kind of got the template that I use, that for a conference poster it's A, B, C and D. And obviously this is a very different approach, and that was one of the reasons why I was really excited to do this and to work with a professional designer.
I wanted to use elements of lines and be able to play with lines, because obviously with maps there's so many grids and lines, and I suppose I was working on that kind of graphic element to pull the images together.
I think one of the main challenges was because of the technical side of the work, being able to communicate that not only to Alice, but then for Alice to be able to communicate that to the audience who are going to be looking at the posters.
Every design job I would take on, it's a different subject matter, and there's always an element of research, and you end up learning about something in the process.
It's one of the first times where I've really worked with somebody who is not familiar with any aspect of the work at all, and so it really forced me to think, well, how do I describe this to somebody who's only got a limited time frame to work in? I can't sort of give her the lectures that I give to my students and that take all year. So yeah, how can I break down what I'm doing such that it can be communicated, but at the same time still make it exciting and not seem really trivial and dumbed down because it's taken to such a simple level?